or ridiculous?
Oh, yeah.
All right, moving right along. Let me check on y'all here in this comment section. Dakota, he trying to be like Will and Jada. Corey Haim was bent over right on the set of Lucas, allegedly by Charlie Sheen. Yes, he was, right in between two trailers. Allegedly. All allegedly. All right, moving right along. So I wanted to actually come over here and talk about Beyonce, A. Marie, and Candy, all right? Because I seen an interview that Candy did, and I just got to say this about this interview. It was poorly edited. Now, this is absolutely no shade to whoever edited over there, but when somebody is actually trying to spill the tea, this is not the time to be funny. When someone is giving you, like, background information on the industry, this is not the time to insert a laugh track, a funny. No, you let funny be funny. You don't force it to be funny. So whoever edited that shit over there, I don't want to shade. You know, I don't want. You know, I guess what I just said was already shady, but your editing sucks. But nonetheless, we're gonna listen to this interview that Candy gave, and then we're gonna actually break down Beyonce's spiritual influence over the music industry. Okay, people, we'll be right back.
Themselves
Changed with.
successfully.
That part.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
You have to give it to her. Like, at the end of the day, you know, obviously she started out, you know, and in the 2000, and she was able to evolve and change and consistently, continuously dropping new stuff. And I think the fact that for a long time she never took breaks, and obviously the quality of her work is always great.
I feel like people don't see it that way because she hasn't had a kind of a blimp moment that a lot of people know about.
And that's not
but
true.
But you know about them.
Well, I'll give you a simple example.
Yeah.
And to me, this shows her perseverance and her hard work. When the group was separating, that's well, no. I'm not in their business like that.
I'm just saying from what I heard through the grapevine. Yeah.
When their group was separating and they start doing their solo projects or whatever, she was working on her solo project.
Yeah.
Remember the song that she had did for the Austin Powers theme? Yeah, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I was told, I don't know if it's true.
Who said that?
I was told that she was trying to do like a whole project in that vein.
Got you.
And that she had recorded, you know, a lot of songs at that point. It didn't catch immediately. I heard that they basically scratched everything that she had did.
Yes. And
she started over and then went and did this.
Love.
She rewrote.
Yeah. So deep.
You remember that era, you know, those songs. Because that was right after they was on the same label. What's her name? A. Marie had the same producer.
Not me whispering.
And they got that producer to also work with Beyonce. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, my point is the fact that she recognized, okay, maybe this direction is not gonna work. You know, we need to reinvest or get the label
versus
to come back.
Kind of
instead of just go ahead and putting out the.
All right. So let's get this down now. Now, if you guys were able to hear that there, you heard Candy say that Beyonce and A. Marie had the same management. That Beyonce had a certain swag going on and scrapped it and then came up with something else. And it just so happens that Beyonce and A. Marie had the same producers. And over the years, Beyonce had been accused of biting A. Marie's style. But biting A. Marie's style on the BDay album. Right? She allegedly got that from A. Marie's second album. But let's just go through the timeline because maybe she had been watching A. Marie this whole point. You guys got to understand just how influential Beyonce was in this industry. Okay, let's talk about it, right? So when you go to that song, Work It Out, of course, that came from that Austin Powers movie, right? Where she played Foxy Cleopatra. Now, one thing you got to know about this movie, back in the early 2000s, Beyonce was trying to get into acting, all right? Don't y'all remember that hip opera she did, Carmen or Carmarella, whatever, where she died? The acting was horrible. You know, then she did this in 2002. She did Obsessed later. She did another movie too, but they never really hit because Beyonce is not an actress. She's a singer, she's a dancer, and a performer. When you are an actor, you have to be able to like not be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna embody a role, you have to really embody it. And any role Beyonce plays, it still sounds like Beyonce. I'm sorry. It is, all right? And you know, and due to y'all bullying her for this girl's accent for the longest, she don't even talk to us no more. So, right, so she released Work It Out, and you gotta work it out. Y'all remember that, right? It was on the soundtrack for the movie. It was actually on the DVD as a bonus and briefly came out. Then they pulled it, all right? So that's June 11, 2002. Well, then Crazy in Love, which was the official first single, ended up coming out May 18, 2003, right? Looking so crazy, oh, no. Y'all, I'm taking y'all down memory lane. I remember actually like being in the barbershop. I was like in 03, I was 10. All right, so I remember like getting my hair cut and like seeing all the barbers like literally turn towards the little TVs they had at the top. This is when we had BET 106 and Park Kids. I know a lot of kids, I know y'all newbies don't understand how influential 106 and Park and TRL was. But it was influential. And I literally remember Crazy in Love was #1 for the longest. All right, you know. And Bow Wow, yeah, he had a lot of #1s too, you know. But now he's on little tugboats. Anyway, so Beyonce's first solo album was Dangerously in Love, but it was not released until June 17, 2003, but it was actually recorded from March 2002 until March 2003. And so when you look at this, you're like, oh, she actually did start off with one sound and then end up with another. She was recording this album for a whole year. And I know you guys are going to say, well, Storm, for some people, it takes them a year to make a good album. Except Beyonce's not actually a writer. Beyonce actually uses probably about 13 or 14. Okay, y'all not going to keep it real. She uses several writers and then comes in and adds a ooh. And, you know, she takes the credit. You know, we love her. But Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter is a take a credit type of person. That's why her and Carrie Hilson got into it. That's why Carrie Hilson ain't been allowed back to Nan Illuminati party since. Okay, so then y'all see the date start. So then I went and looked up A. Marie, all right? A. Marie's album, because they were both signed to Columbia. Her album actually debuted July 30th, 2002. But of course, she had to have been recording that album for from the earlier part of 2002. And so you're talking about two girls with similar looks and not similar, and I gotta take you guys out of like your optics, right? Because when I look at Beyonce and you look at A. Marie, hold up, we're gonna say it again. When you look at Beyonce and you look at A. Marie, of course, no, they don't look like, but they have a similar look, okay? And in the industry, these two are what you would call, don't kill me, but this is what they say. These two are what you would call a pretty black girl. They both have a pretty black girl look. Unfortunately, in the entertainment industry, they don't like for there to be too many pretty black girls at one time. Now, that's probably the only time I'm gonna say that, because I don't even like when I hear white and black people say black girl when they're referring to a grown-ass woman. So these are black women, but I'm embodying to you the way white people talk. Remember, I've been around white folk for the longest. I was doing investigative work, so I can come here and tell you exactly how they think. I've been to auditions. I've been to I see exactly how they talk and the things they say. These agents, these managers, these record labels execs, they literally use their words. Damn it! I was at an audition for a toothpaste commercial, and I heard this agent say, "The pretty black girl with the nice smile." Not me, obviously, but I'm just saying. And then he kept staring at her thighs. Now, I was 14. Now I can look at, I can view that now at 27 and be like, why was that agent talking about her thighs and we were auditioning for a toothpaste commercial? Scrap that. Now, in the industry, there's only room for one at one time, because the industry was breeding and developing what would be the queen of Jakumatati. Who would be the queen? And in this business, in this entertainment industry, and in every sector of it, there are queens and kings that run everything, and then there's everybody else. And then there are people that they hand off the crown to. Just like your presidential election, which is a selection in this industry, the people who make it, the people who get the deals, get the A-list roles, these are selections. Not necessarily an election, not necessarily you earned it. The Grammys, a selection. All these award shows, selections. And it's all for a reason, okay? And it's all for an agenda and a motive. Ooh, I'm talking tonight. We gonna talk tonight. All right, so moving right along. So then, all right, so Anne Marie was working on an album at the same label at the same time. So then I said, but wait a minute though, you know, I saw an impressive documentary and she did a really good job on it. Go check it out. Well, she broke down how people were comparing Beyonce and Anne Marie when Beyonce was doing her second album, right? Because of course, the second album, BDay, came out September 4th, 2006, but this album was actually recorded in 3 weeks. I don't know if y'all knew. It was supposed to take them 6, but they only did it in 3, right? Anne Marie's second album, there's just one thing that got me tripping. All right, recorded in 04, not released until 05, and it was an R&B funk go-go. It had a very similar style. Anne Marie's album and Beyonce's album, the BDay, is very, very, very similar. I can't prove that the first Beyonce album was modeled after Anne Marie, but what I can tell you is Beyonce and Anne Marie had been around each other, and their teams had been around each other for years. And so it's just mighty funny to me how you're on the same label with the same producer, Rich Harrison. One person has a whole different sound, and then they scrap it because it's not going to work, because it's not the 70s, and Beyonce is not Diana Ross. And they say, you know what? You see what Anne Marie doing over there? You need to do something like that. You need to do something more like that. Just like with Ashanti, what Irv Gotti used to tell her, stop all that dancing. Why you trying to dance like Beyonce? You're not going to be able to outdance her. You stick to singing your cool, laid-back love songs. That's what you do. And it messed Ashanti up too. Also messing with their married man messed her up too. But y'all remember how Ashanti used to dance? They used to do them choreography. When you roll with me, can't take control of me. I just wanna love you, baby. Always gonna love you, baby. It was very 1, 2, 3. It was not natural. Just like Ciara singing. It was never natural. Oh. Okay, all right. So y'all not gonna keep it real, but that's fine. That's fine. All right. So then moving on, of course, when you look up their producer, you got Knowles and you got Harrison. That Harrison person is Rich Harrison. And so then I said, well, how was it that Beyonce was not only able to scrap her whole image, create a new image, allegedly bite somebody's style, and nobody calls her on it? And then later on, you have the Tierra Maries of the world and the Rihannas of the world that come up, people that were coming up under the Queen. And if you guys do not know, once again, back when Tierra Marie and then Rihanna came out a little after, they were pitted against one another. If you notice in this industry, everybody's pitted against one another, right? Because they both have a similar look. What's the similar look? The pretty black woman look, right? Now, I don't know if Tierra Marie is any kind of Caribbean or anything like that, but when white execs and white record labels and the white old men that make these decisions are looking at them, they see what they see. And so what you guys have to know is that Rihanna was literally picked by Beyonce, right? So this is from L.A. Reid. He said, after signing Rihanna, Jay-Z and his team did an A&R for her first album. Because, you know, Rihanna really didn't pop into the third. And I had nothing to do with it. The funny thing about Rihanna's success was that we signed 2 girls at the time, Rihanna and a lovely young lady by the name of Tierra Marie. We had an in-house company showcase. And Beyonce happened to be there with Jay-Z, Tierra Marie, Rihanna, and a 4-girl group called Black Butterfly and Neo performed. At that label, we thought Tierra Marie would be the big star. Because once again, they're not elected, they're selected. Beyonce is here at this point. Rihanna and Tierra Marie are girls coming in the game. And that girl, Chantel, that was from the Caribbean too, that came out in 2008. That looked like a darker version of Rihanna, that girl didn't have no chance at all. They let her put on one good ponytail, have one good song called Impossible, and she went her impossible way ass back wherever she came from. I'm just telling y'all. It's a game to this, and you got to be able to play it. It's a lot of sacrifice too, but, you know, I'll talk about that later. So, at the label, we thought Tierra Marie would be the big star. We spent more time on her, did more work on her, paid more attention to her, which is why Rihanna's album Rihanna's Star Power didn't really pop into the third one, because they wasn't really paying no attention before. But one thing about Rihanna, she didn't quit. I got to give her that. Rihanna already had a hit with Pon de Replay, but we still thought it was the other girl. A bell went off for me. However, when after the showcase, Beyonce came up to me and said, that Rihanna girl, she's a beast. Selected. And whatever Beyonce says, it goes. Well, Tierra Marie went on about her way. They stopped paying attention to her. Christina Milian, you know, dip it low slow. Pop, pop, pop that thing. I'm gonna do it on the ooh. Now, I think Christina Milian said, well, shit, I can't really compete with the Rihanna either, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and just have a baby by Lil. Did she have a baby by Lil Wayne? No, The Dream. That's who she did. That's who did. Not did. Well, you know what I mean. Anyway, so then you got to talk about Miss Carrie, baby. And even when Carrie Hilson, who got on Beyonce's case for, you know, taking credit for writing things that she didn't, for the Love in This Club remix that Beyonce took over, Carrie Hilson was then tricked into doing a diss track about her. Hey, Paulo Dodon. Because, see, when Carrie went into the studio, Carrie didn't want to sing about Beyonce that day. Remember she did that remix to Turning Me On and diss Beyonce? She didn't really want to do it, but she was talked into do it, coerced. And then she asked Polo not to release it, and he still did. You know why? Because he had instructions to. You know why? Because the industry knew that Beyonce's fan base was strong enough to ruin this girl. They also knew that you can't come for the Queen of Illuminati because you would not make it. What happened to Carrie after she came for Beyonce? Well, her career was blacklisted, and she went into a severe depression that she is barely just bringing herself out of. Now, was the depression just a result of the blacklisting, or was there a spiritual influence involved as well? I would say it's probably a little bit of both. What happened to Tierra Marie? Not only did nobody pay attention to no more, she became a drunk. I'm just saying, people. See, y'all thought I was coming up here to bash, but I'm coming up here to really wanting y'all to piece two and two together. And see, there's a reason why in this industry certain people rise and certain people fall off or stay stagnant or just mysteriously die. And if you don't see the pieces, I don't really know what to tell you. But then I said there's been many, many times where people have accused Beyonce of copying things, like the song Irreplaceable that Ne-Yo wrote. Ne-Yo wrote the complete song. Beyonce came in and add ad-libs and then lied and said she wrote it, but Ne-Yo didn't want to rock the boat and said that, well, you know, she put her own spin on it. No, if it's not your words, it ain't your own spin. It just not. So I want to show you this video here. Now, I'm going to take you guys back to, I believe this was 2011 or 2012 Billboard Music Awards. Beyonce was 2 months pregnant. Had a 48 hours notice before she did this performance and had morning sickness, right? But I want to show you just how quickly and how she was able to pull off this performance in 2 days. You know why? Because the choreographers didn't actually have to develop it. They had a lot of inspiration. Let's look.
Whoa, ay, it's a storm show, ay, it's a storm show, ay, it's a storm show, ay, that nigga crazy though, it's a storm show, it's a storm show, ay, it's a storm show, ay, that nigga crazy though, ay, you might get roasted, you might get flamed, that nigga insane, it's a storm show, it's a storm show, ay, it's a storm show.
All right, people. All right. So now, I showed you all of that stuff that I showed you tonight to simply say this. That in this game, and when it comes to Beyonce and what Candy really can't say and what she was kind of like skirting around, is not only is Beyonce a hard worker, not only is she extremely talented, not only was she molded for this game, but you can tell me that the daughter of Oshun does not use her spiritual power and her saints to her advantage. You cannot tell me somebody that has been accused again and again of copying, stealing, biting, lying. You can't tell me there ain't extra ways and extra things people do to make sure they stay on top and that you are never really able to keep up with them. Like a robot. Like holding a 10-hour rehearsal and not even having to use the bathroom once. In the words of Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter, ooh, I forget y'all human too. Play the tape back. She said it, I didn't. I love her. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love her. Look, she's the greatest of my generation. I ain't gonna front. However, There has to be spiritual influences at play here. There just has to be. Because how is everybody else getting knocked down for one person to stay on top? Even after they do wrong. Even after they do things that if other people did, they would not get away with. Oh, in that video I was showing you, I know you saw the Billboard Awards on one side. That was 2011. The other side you saw was 2010. That was a performer by the name of Luciella Canetti, some Italian performer. As you see, it was very similar. So before we move on and talk about Wendy and Tommy, Yamaya's Gift is a brand that specializes in medicinal herbs and all natural supplements to help alleviate a lot of conditions that Americans suffer from, okay? Now, Yamaya's Gift got products to help you with that hypertension, to help speed up that weight loss, get rid of them fibroids, as well as help alleviate the symptoms of that diabetes. Oh yeah, that sugar is real bad. So now with Yamaya's Gift, you get a lot of gifts, but the best gift that anyone could ever give you is the ability to heal thyself from the inside out with products like elderberry syrup to help keep that immunity in check, because we all fighting Miss Rona. We all trying to windmill her ass up out of our lives. But one of my personal favorites, as a matter of fact, two of my personal favorite products with Yamaya's Gift is the all natural honey and the tea that's for men. And the reason why I like those products is because if you are somebody with a low sex drive, if you need a boost in the bedroom, and if you are ready to get Brian Pumpered, Lexington Steeled all night long, then just put some of that in your man's cup and you will be on your way to a happier, healthy marriage, all right? Now, place your orders today, whether you need your immunity taken care of, you're trying to lose some weight, you're trying to get rid of that sugar, the diabetes, or you're just trying to bust a nut, okay? Order her shit at www.yamayasgift.com.